Jimmy and Jim are on WCMH Television, Columbus, Ohio. Newswatch for Columbus is next.
Good evening. The first week of the new year has ended in a violent way. Mike says authorities are investigating a double murder tonight near Gehanna. Mike?
Christy, he was stopped for a traffic violation, but now he's been charged with aggravated murder. 23-year-old Robert Kring is being held in the Lake County Jail tonight, charged in the stabbing deaths of his two elderly aunts in their home on Johnstown Road near Gehanna. 79-year-old Helen Kring and her sister Dorothy, 74, were apparently killed sometime yesterday morning. Their bodies were discovered early today by Franklin County deputies acting on a tip from Lake County. There's no word tonight on a motive. The hostage drama in Moundsville, West Virginia appears over tonight. Governor Arch Moore is meeting at this hour with inmates inside the prison, holding up the state's end of the agreement signed yesterday. And the inmates have kept their end of the bargain, apparently releasing the remaining 7 hostages they took 2 days ago when they took over half the prison. You may soon be able to get home delivery of the Cleveland Plain Dealer and the Cincinnati Enquirer in Columbus, 2 out-of-town newspapers that are in greater demand now that the Citizen Journal is no more. One local news agency that distributes out-of-town papers says more than 100 people have called in the past few days looking for an alternative to the Columbus Dispatch. 3 tractor-trailer trucks loaded with 2,100 bales of hay are headed to Pendleton County, West Virginia tonight from farmers in Coshocton County, Ohio. It's their way of helping livestock farmers who've suffered major losses in the flooding of last November down in West Virginia. The donation is worth about $3,000. It would have been cheaper for some farmers to sell their herds if they were forced to buy the hay at about $2 per bale. That's always good news. I guess you got your wish. Winter is back with us, huh?
It's trying to get back in here. We don't want any major storms. We have not had any all this winter. Just think back, the most snow we ever had was 2 inches, and that melted on contact. We do have another Alberta Clipper, which should give us colder weather on Sunday.
One more time.
You think I'm just making this up, don't you? But these storms are all coming from Alberta. When they start coming from Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, then we'll have the big storms.
I want to be there.
This one's coming out of Wyoming, headed toward us, spreading some light snow and some rain and snow mixed in southern Ohio late tomorrow. So if you're going to be traveling late tomorrow, you might want to call the Highway Patrol road number 462-7031 because we could have some problems. But tonight, just cloudy, brisk winds and chilly. In the evening, our temperatures will be in the low 30s.
Jim, what do they call those old Alberta Clippers in Alberta?
You know, Mike asked me that. I don't know.
You don't know?
They originate out in the Gulf of Alaska, so maybe they call them Gulf of Alaska storms or something.
Or our Clippers, maybe. All right, we'll be back with you at 6, Jim. It was a kids-only affair at the Palace Theater today. Parents could come only by invitation. Larry, this was a big party for the Kids Speak program.
Well, we've told you all about the Kids Speak program before. It's something that the city originated, created, so kids could get in touch with city government just using the phone system, in fact, and writing into the city Parks and Recreation Department, well, to ask questions, maybe even make suggestions. Well, today the mayor showed his way, well, of showing that he's taking these kids seriously.
More places where you could ice skate or something. Stop breaking into people's houses.
Yeah, man, that's the way you do it. Keep the gangs in jail.
A kid's eye view of Columbus, what they think about our community. Mayor Dana Reinhardt decided it was time the city listened to these young minds.
I get these bombs off the street.
Keep the drunk drivers off the street.
So Kids Speak came to be, a phone line to local government. Today's Kids Show resulted from some of those calls.
Well, the kids in Columbus have spoken. They said something they would like is entertainment by kids for kids. And with having the shrimps and everyone in this made kind of a grand finale for the announcement of the Kids Speak Mayor for a Day.
For their ideas, Andy Schott and Terry Birdwell were named Mayor for a Day. But not on this day. It was designed for kid fun. A magic act, local talent, and a featured singing act out of Seattle, the Shrimps.
The songs that they sing are related to kids' concerns. Drugs, smoking, messy rooms.
Kids Speak is a reality because Columbus area kids take advantage of it. It will continue, the city says, as long as they have something to say.
I'll make buildings better, more parks, safer parks and stuff.
Well, if you want to join that Kids Speak club, so to say, all you have to do is contact the City Parks and Recreation Department, and they'll send you the phone number. I think it's something like 274-KIDS. And that's if you have some suggestions or some questions from the mayor, well, you can just call them right up. My favorite section here, Christy, in the free enterprise area of COSI, the money section. I'm looking at international currencies right now. Some of them are devaluing very quickly, especially if you deal with the peso. Okay, I have a quick little question for you, a little trivia question.
All right.
Which president is on a U.S. $100 bill?
Oh, Benjamin Franklin?
Oh, very good.
Is
Not
it?
a president, but you were right. That's it. I thought I'd catch you. Well, it's your birthday today, too. We should say happy birthday,
Well,
Christy.
thank you very much.
27 years old and getting better.
Oh, well, thank you. That's awfully nice of you to say, Larry. We'll be back to you later on. And later when we come back, we'll talk hamburger and why that extra lean ground beef isn't so different from regular after all. And there's been a breakthrough for the blind.
This is Newswatch 4 at 5:30. Mona Scott and Doug Adair bring you the news you want to hear. Meteorologist Jim Goodall gives you tonight's exclusive weather forecast. And with you live in Central Ohio is Larry Hoff. Newswatch 4 at 5:30 will continue after these messages.
If you've been paying extra pennies for lean or extra lean ground beef at your supermarket, you may be paying for nothing. A study done by the University of Missouri showed that although raw, regular ground beef has a higher cholesterol content than the leaner meat, most of that extra fat melts away if you broil the burger. When you cook the lean meat, it loses mostly moisture. In the end, regular and lean meats contain about the same amount of fat once you cook them. The way microwave ovens are made now, they're pretty simple to use, but what about for the visually impaired who can't see or feel the control panel on the newer ovens? Well, Barbara Jackson says one company has solved that problem.
A microwave oven is easy enough for most of us to use, but a smooth touch control panel like this is useless to a blind person. So Tappan Appliances, based in Mansfield, recently had Braille panels made to fit certain microwaves. The idea came about when a consumer who wanted Braille controls for a microwave contacted the company, and Tappan handled his request the way they handled similar requests in the past. They made a Braille panel for him.
When a consumer would write in with a request, we individually made the dials, brailled the dials. We had a model shop that would individually braille the dials for those consumers. So we would do it on an individual basis, which was very time-consuming and very expensive.
While answering this one request, the company decided to look into having Braille panels mass-produced. They contacted a rehabilitation center in Mansfield, which put them in touch with the Columbus Vision Center on North High, and it was here the clear plastic Braille panels were made.
We met with the engineers and public relations from Tappan, and Janice Stanley, one of our Braillists here, she helped the engineers, and she designed and she actually did the Braille writing, and she designed and wrote the panels herself. I think she did about 100 of them.
The company also wanted to provide its microwave cookbook and owner's manual for the visually impaired, so everything in the books was put on tape. That was done at the Vision Center, too.
We decided to go with a tape instead of a Braille cookbook because we found we met the needs of all the visually impaired consumers. With the Braille cookbook, we could only meet the needs of about 33% of the visually impaired consumers.
The Braille template, which sticks on the microwave, will work on 6 models the company makes, and appliance dealers all over the country have a list of some of the model numbers. Now, anyone wanting this Braille panel, which comes with the tape, can write to the Tappan Company in Mansfield. And the package is free to anyone with a proof of purchase.
And we want to mention that DRM Productions of Mansfield supplied some needed equipment for Barbara's report. They helped us in a crunch situation, and we appreciate it. Technology is changing our lives so quickly. A lot of major stores have changed their services in the past few years to keep up with the times. You can get insurance and eyeglasses at some major chain stores that used to sell only clothes. And now Sears is getting into the vacation business. You can buy your resort clothes, then order up a Florida vacation to wear them on at Sears. The spring catalog will have a 40-page insert showing you vacation packages for 5 different Florida areas, plus 3 cruise packages. You can get it all at Sears. Next on 5:30, how to find fresh blueberries this time of year and how to make math fun. One of those subjects in school that can be so scary, all those equations and formulas to learn. I'm speaking from experience, believe me. But you can try to make math more fun for your children, or if you're a teacher, for your students. There's a brochure available from the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics. If you'd like to know how fun math can be, send a stamped self-addressed envelope to NCTM Parents Brochure number 3, and that's 1906 Association Drive, Reston, Virginia. The zip code is 22091. Can't believe math could be fun, but maybe it can. Fresh blueberries in January, believe it or not. Joe Carcione, the greengrocer, is going to show us some good quality blueberries that you can find now.
Well, fresh produce, and there's no question they're going to continue to change more and more as the years go by. Well, here's something that's a real change. How about fresh blueberries in the month of January? Well, folks, we have a lot of blueberries coming in from New Zealand, so many that they had to lower the price dramatically in the past week or so. Now, they're fairly reasonable in price. That is, fairly reasonable for blueberries from New Zealand. Not fairly reasonable enough that you might think that you're going to go out and buy them for the price that you buy the local blueberries. Nowhere near that price. And another thing, folks, when you see a basket of blueberries, this isn't a basket, this is what is known as a punnet. When you see a punnet of blueberries from New Zealand, you have to remember this. It does not contain 12 or 16 ounces of blueberries like the blueberries that are packed in America, but this only contains about 8 ounces, so the price is going to be higher than what you actually think. But anyway, folks, fresh blueberries are available if you have a desire for them. I'll tell you one thing that does not change, and that is quality of any fresh fruit and vegetable. When you go to market, you want to look for blueberries that are large and are nice and plump. And incidentally, folks, in some of the blueberries, you're going to notice a little powdery substance. Don't let that bother you. This occurs on grapes and plums. It really doesn't matter. This is Joe Carcione, your greengrocer, with your tip for the day.
Larry, you look like you're in front of a tunnel, are you?
Close. It's a giant megaphone, actually. No, it is a tunnel here in the high-tech center, one of the newer exhibits here at COSI. And probably something the Buckeye cheerleaders could have used this season. It would have been very effective up in Ann Arbor. Go Buckeyes! About a block long.
What a sound.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. You got to talk nice in here, though, because they can hear you across the street.
Oh, you're wreaking havoc with the audio folks upstairs, I bet.
I bet they like me a whole lot. Well, speaking of cheerleaders, they're heading off, the Buckeye squad, January 9th to San Diego for a national competition. And the Buckeyes are in elite company, in fact. They sent off a videotape of one of the games showing them in action. And they were chosen to compete, and now they're going up against 15 other squads, the very best in the country.
But the one thing about Ohio State, though, we've always been a team squad. The whole team does it, but we don't do it. We don't isolate one person.
They tackle a routine part by part, trying to smooth out the rough edges. In the end, though, these 14 cheerleaders hope they can move as one through 2.5 minutes of dance and acrobatics.
A couple weeks ago, we were practicing about 6-7 hours a day, that kind of thing, because there's just a lot more to work on.
This is the same squad which just finished off a 12-game football season. These people have certainly polished their act in that time, yet that doesn't automatically prepare them for a national competition.
At a game, we just do our basic cheers and sidelines, those things that you do every year, you know, every game, that kind of thing. A routine, we put all of those things that we know, the best of what we know, together into one thing for 2.5 minutes.
We have to coordinate a lot more. The members of the squad are, they know what goes on in the game. They're aware of it, they're habituated to it. Whereas for this, we come in and we give them some things that could tax them a lot more than what they're used to doing. We ask them to do things that they might not have the ability to, and they have to learn it, which is up here more than anything else.
Both Monique and Ralph were veterans in this group, having cheered before stadiums filled with over 100,000 screaming fans. A national competition boils down to a couple of minutes of intense concentration and nothing going wrong. Again, the squad heads off January 9th. It's coming up in just a few days for San Diego in that national competition. We've moved over in kind of the olden days of radio and telegraph. Here is an old Morse code system, a telegraph. I'm going to tap out a little message here, Christy, real quickly.
All right.
Got to do this quick. That was Morse code for Go Bucks. Good luck to that squad.
Oh, couldn't be a more appropriate message either.
I was a little slow, though.
All right. This has been a week for peace in Ohio. Peace Day was officially proclaimed on January 1st. And we're going to show you that next, but right now, there's a chicken in the studio, so, you know, I knew they'd do it to me. I knew you'd do this to me.
You didn't think you'd get off easy this year, did you?
Well, no, as a matter of fact, I didn't.
Stand up a second for us here.
Do I have to?
Yes, required.
Oh.
I'm Mr. Chicken from the Phony Express Singing Telegram. I just came all the way in from the farm to bring you this message. These are from you.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh,
well,
great.
We brought a little musical selection. If we could ever get everybody in the studio to join in here. Let's see. Maybe you could hold it.
I would be happy to.
Well, you know, they didn't tell me your age. You look like a spring chicken to me.
Oh, no.
Well, everybody want to join in for just a second here? First we'll sing like people and then like chickens.
I hope you left time in the show for this, by the way.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Christy. Happy birthday to you. And now in chickenese.
It's a bad dream, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Phony Express.
Christy, it's required that you take the chicken's oath.
Oh, I see. But they have to wrap. We're out of time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Raise up a wing here.
Wing?
A wing here. No, wing.
Wing. Okay.
All you have to do is say bok bok after this part of the oath.
This is not good for credibility, by the way.
You promised to treat all chickens with the same dignity and respect as humans from this day on?
Buck. Yeah.
And you promise you will not retaliate or take any revenge on whoever sent this chicken to you?
No, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Well, all right. Well, I hope it's a memorable one for you.
Thank
I
you.
can get back to the farm and lay some more eggs, but get this time for me to scramble.
Oh, and aren't you funny? And thank you for being with us from the Phony Express. Awfully nice to meet you.
This card says who's responsible. Here's your peck on the cheek.
Oh.
There we go. Well.
Oh, I knew they'd do it. I knew they'd do it.
Get the chicken away. Bye-bye now.
Bye. Thank you. This is lovely. I will get you, and we'll be back in just a minute. About the Delaware school children who went to the Soviet embassy in Washington with a piece-o-gram they'd videotaped, and we told you about their visit, but we couldn't show you then because the Soviet government had to give permission for the videotape to be shown. Well, we're going to show it to you now for the first time ever on television. These are the 5th graders in Julie Sechrist's class at Conger Elementary, and they gave the piece-o-gram to the first secretary of the Soviet embassy. The Soviets gave them some Russian music, some refreshments, and they had badges on which peace was printed in Russian and in English. A nice video to see during Peace Week. Larry, what are you up to now?
Oh, I'm up to no good. I'm learning a little bit about robots, ones that you can build in your home. Hey, how did your singing chicken do?
Well, he did a wonderful job, and, well, it's just I just didn't expect it. What can I say?
You're going to look back in your life and remember these moments, these grand moments, these highlights. It'll be like winning an Emmy when the chicken came in and sang to you when you were anchoring.
I guess.
Now, this is something that you could build at home. COSI has this just to familiarize the kids and all of the people who come in here on how it works. I'm just going to hit F, and I'm programming it now. And this is, I think it's hit 8 or 5 here. Help me out. I'm hitting 8. They have to hold up hands to show me. Okay.
What's he saying?
He says too far, too close.
Wow.
I'm not doing very well with this guy.
Well, you're too close, you're too far. You're never okay with him.
I know it, but I'm not that accurate. Hey, does this look familiar to you?
Well, as soon as I get a good
We'll take
look,
a little glimpse.
it looks like my closet.
That doesn't surprise me for some reason. No, this is actually, hey, our little fella here made his famous call home with this simple device, a record player.
Oh.
He used a coat hanger and a little, I guess, a tuning fork to send his message. And then to translate the radio message, he used just a simple speak and spell that he found in the closet as a kid. And he sent it off by using an umbrella with tin foil just to make it look like a radio dish and a coffee can. And that's how he transmitted his call home message to come back and get him before he died on Earth.
Oh, and he rode to the moon on a bicycle, as I recall.
Oh, boy, those wonderful moments
One of
on
those-
TV. It's
one of
almost
my
like we
favorite
believe
movies.
that happened.
I know. Larry, you've been having so much fun. I hate to see you leave COSA.
I know. You know, we all look forward to coming down here. The crew is always playing on games. I
Yeah.
have to admit to the production staff that they're not working. They're off playing on computers, and I have to motivate them.
I hear you. All right, we'll be right back. Again.
I think he's going to be your date on your birthday tonight.
That sounds exciting.
He's got a little message for you right here. I know we're running out of time, but here it comes. Can you see it for you?
Isn't that nice?
We're going to bring this home to you.
That's awfully sweet. Will you tell him it'll be the most wonderful birthday date I've ever had, okay?
Right, one of the better times you've had.
All
Sure.
right, thank you.
Thanks, Larry. Have a good weekend. Up next at 6 o'clock, crime is making headlines in the early days of '86. Some young Ohio farmers are making hay and sending it to their troubled counterparts in West Virginia. And Jim says some snow